Murky Divers officially has over 280,000 players worldwide, and Embers Games decided to celebrate in one of the best ways possible. A new update, 0.9, has just been released, and not just that, this update released an entire 4 days early in the form of a shadow drop, literally without any warning. 0.9 is the final part of what has been a 3-part Halloween series, and there's a lot to go over. So without wasting any more of your time, let's talk about Murky Divers update 0.9. Let's first start off with all of the fun Halloween decorations added to the game. Everything in the sub has been completely decked out with fun decor to really get you into the Halloween spirit. They pretty much covered every square inch of this sub with something related to Halloween. And they even changed the grinder to this disgusting looking mouth thing. One of my favorite parts is this floating ghost diver who will sometimes appear, and if you follow him around, he'll take you straight to his body, still dead in the shower. There's a lot of blood in there, so put your best theories as to what happened to him down in the comments. Also, if you look in the mirror long enough, a ghost that reminds me of Bloody Mary will appear in the mirror behind you. If you are a big fan of spooky season, then this alone might be enough to make you check out this update, but stick around because it just gets so much better from here. Arguably the most significant part of this update, and something you're definitely going to want to know about, is that upgrade CDs have been completely removed from the game. Instead, they've been replaced with batteries, each with a different charge level, and can only be found inside the underwater bunkers. If you take a battery back to your ship, you'll notice each station has a receiver with a charge level you need to hit in order to upgrade that station. So all you have to do is put your batteries inside of the slots until you reach the target number. Don't worry if you go over that number, because you'll receive an extra battery with whatever charge you have left over. Besides this, most of the stations have remained untouched except for one. The depth meter has been completely overhauled, and we now have infinite depths. Instead of the different color zones like we had before, the color zone you're in now will be determined by how close to the police you are. The star on the meter is the cops, and you want to stay as far away from them as possible in order to continue your dives. Upgrading this will allow you to travel deeper into the ocean and will give you the option to choose what your next biome will be, so those are no longer randomized. One of these biomes was just added in this update 0.9. I personally have been very excited for it, and that is Atlantis. This is what Atlantis' icon on the depth meter looks like, and this biome is really fun to be in. The outside features a giant Egyptian-like statue, and all of the bunker entrances can be found at its base. The inside is very distinctly different from other biomes. There's large rooms with even more imposing statues, hieroglyphics scattered on the walls, and even the vents have a different look compared to the old ones. I did spend some time wandering the outside of this biome looking for an emergency exit, but unfortunately I couldn't find one, so the main entrances are the only way in or out. In addition, Atlantis is the spot where you are most likely to find one of the new creatures added to this game called the Selfish Sun. This creature carries around a blue bag with stars on it, periodically stopping to pull more stars out from the sky. What it's doing is it's gathering light, so if you have a flashlight and get close to it, it will render that flashlight unusable. The Selfish Sun is not overly aggressive, and you can swim around it without it bothering you as long as you don't do anything to make it mad. There was another new creature added to this game in the form of a police drone. Police drones are used by the police as surveillance and will become active once you have at least 2 stars. You will very easily be able to hear one of these things coming, and once it spots you, it will swim off to relay a message back to the police. Once the signal is sent, you can receive up to an additional 2 stars, so you'll want to destroy them before that happens. I personally am really glad the police got more representation in this game. If you've ever watched any of my previous videos on Murky Divers, I've always talked about how the police are such an integral part of how this game works, yet we get so little opportunities to actually interact with them. This changes that a little, and they did the police a bit more service with this next part of the update. At the end of your game prior to this update, your game would end with this super abrupt jail bar animation. Now, the cops will break into your sub before transitioning into a mugshot photo of you and your squad. This screen will also show off your ending game stats, bringing a much nicer and entertaining conclusion to your dives. We're almost to the end, so bear with me because we just have a few more things to talk about. First are 2 new modules that were added to the game. One is the shell, which will give you a 200-point boost to your health, and there's Captain Mike, essentially a walkie-talkie for you to communicate with your friends. Speaking of items, everything in the shop got a massive increase in price. So if you haven't already, now's the perfect time to take that lesson in financial literacy because you're gonna need it. There were also 5 new dive suits added to the game. 3 being Halloween inspired, and 2 being inspired by Atlantis. First is the Flusher, which requires you to use 10 different toilets. The Time Diver, which you need to explore each room of Atlantis to unlock. The White Lady, which you need to survive an expedition while haunted by the TV beast. The Grooving Zombie, which you need to dance along with a grooving croc saw. And finally, the Pumpkin, which you need to shred 5 pumpkins to unlock. The pumpkins you need to find for this suit are these giant golden balls you'll see floating around in the bunkers. Lastly are some improvements made to the game's voice chat. Speaking indicator. Now each skin has an element that lights up on the face when you are speaking to make it clearer for everyone. Reworked sound attenuation system. Walls now obstruct sound better. Dead divers can hear each other better. EMP voice effect volume is now lower. They also made some general improvements to the game, including some body parts are now still alive and move a bit. Collision and navigation now empties the net depending on damage. Submarine net capacity depends on the submarine size. You'll get 2 to 4 slots for 2 players, 3 to 6 slots for 4 players, and then 4 to 8 slots for 8 players. If you haven't already started playing Murky Divers, this is the time to do so. The game is steadily growing and gaining popularity, and every update since release has brought great changes that have massively improved the quality of the game. Embers and Oro, if you guys are watching this video, congratulations on what I would say has been a massively successful Halloween series, and I can't wait to see what you guys bring in future updates. If you made it this far and want to see more videos on Murky Divers and other games like it, make sure you leave this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more. But of course, thank you guys very much for watching. Happy Halloween. Get yourself lots of candy. Get me a Reese's while you're at it too. And I will catch you guys on the flip. Wow!